We've qualified for the World Cup. Go and compete.
Brilliant.
What are we going to talk about?
Oh, Chelsea.
Okay.
No, I just want to laugh.
Yeah, countless topics we can discuss this week. Yeah, Patrick's Day, Mother's Day, the rugby. Yeah, maybe we'll talk about the rugby because for the listeners at home, we watched the game yesterday. We were at the motch.
We watched the match.
We watched the match at different tables though, so I don't think we had the same. You probably didn't hear my insults, and I didn't hear yours. So it's Well, firstly, congratulations to the men's rugby team on a Grand Slam, historic win. I mean, I'm not sure how the country would have reacted if that hadn't had happened, and I think everything is okay now. All the problems are gone.
Fixed.
Yeah, and fair play. I mean, I'm so glad for those privately schooled bunch of lads.
Goys. You
Goys.
like rugby now?
I love it, yeah.
I was saying to Flynn during the match, it's funny, like, when you see a replay in football, it's kind of interesting because, like, the ball is curling and you can see, I don't know, it just feels like there's a bit more skill involved when it's slowed down and showed you again. In rugby, it's like man throws ball to man who jumps over the line, and you see it 5 times. You're like, yeah, I saw it the first time. It was just a man throwing the ball to a man and jumping over the line.
Mm. Yeah, I think like the kicking is great. I find that's excellent. Like the way that it's usually at a really tight angle too, you know, the way they can kind of like curve like the egg-shaped ball in across the post. That part is cool. But I think I actually take more problem with the people that like rugby and the kind of mannerisms around the rugby rather than the sport itself. Because the sport itself is kind of just like grunt and punt. I think that's how I describe it to someone who's never seen rugby before. And I think that's actually how I did describe it to someone who hadn't seen rugby before yesterday. But yeah, it's just very, they're wrestling the ball a lot. But yeah, this whole like zero atmosphere, like literally everyone patting each other on the back before the game, a big roar, and then like, all right, well, we're here to be quiet and watch the opera, and then shushing for the kick and stuff like that. I can't get behind that personally.
The shushing for like in the pub for the English national anthem.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that about?
Yeah. But I mean, if you're on the rugby side of the fence in Ireland, you're practically English.
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's a hot take, but it's
That's
not
quite
not
hot,
wrong.
yeah.
I would say you are English.
Yeah.
The oven mitts on here. This is fucking red hot. Oh my goodness. I don't know. I think it's good to hop on the bandwagon, and I'm sure if you've played the game, you probably appreciate it more. But we're just not going to do well in the World Cup again. Like, we're like the Tottenham of rugby, really.
Mm-hmm.
So hop on the bandwagon while you can, and then just start supporting United when it comes to the summer. You'll be happy out.
I'll be supporting every team in the World Cup.
Yeah. I'm a fan of a good game.
I just want to see a great tournament.
It's about the contest.
I didn't actually think there were that many dickheads in the pub last night, though.
There was one fella.
There was one. There was one dickhead.
Go on.
It was you.
Tell the story.
Oh, no, that much of a story. Just some fucking prick at the bar got caught by the bouncers and thrown out. This was probably at 7:00.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Wasn't he wearing like full waterproofs and stuff too?
Yeah.
I find people that wear that
so
like
funny.
24/7 are usually people that get kicked out.
Yeah, well, the people who show up into pubs wearing their tool belt and things. Like, okay, yeah, we know you were working on the site. Fair play to you.
You're
They just don't want to
driving
go home.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was told too. I worked at a place where that would happen on Friday and Saturdays, like laborers or building lads come in, they'd scull the pints and they'd be driving back like,
Oh yeah,
you know, they're in their work van. Yeah, bad
fucking
enough.
fucking hell on earth. Those rural country roads. Then
Yeah, and they're in the massive vans, like, so they actually get out of it pretty well.
they wrapped themselves up in a bit of styrofoam insulation or something first. No damage done to them. They get sent through the fucking windshield. They've got to sleep.
They have the helmet on. They're passing all the health and safety tests.
Meanwhile, the family of 5 in the Fiesta just pancaked.
It was kind of weirdly quiet though, wasn't it? Like for such a big occasion, the day after Paddy's Day on a Saturday, it's like no one out.
I suppose. I think people really expected Ireland to win as well. There wasn't this kind of will they, won't they? It was like, let's watch Ireland win the Grand Slam now. And when they didn't really win it that well, I think people were just like, meh.
Yeah, I wouldn't have said yesterday's game was a shining example of like how good rugby can be. I guess it was a bit boring,
It'd put you off.
slow. It definitely did for me anyway. I won't be back.
I'll never watch another
but
game.
yeah,
But we were saying like Ireland are #1 team in the world. That's the best rugby team in the world that we watched yesterday. It wasn't.
That's
that
as good as it
fun.
gets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying this as well in the pub that sometimes sport at the highest level is shite compared to sport at a lower level, especially in something like boxing. Like
That's
Floyd
true.
Mayweather boxing match, it'd bore the fucking pants off you. But like, you go to some amateurs having a boxing match who have like 20 losses on their record and they're just slugging it out, be more entertaining because they don't really know how to box.
That's true. Sometimes the highest quality cancels each other out.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why I follow Coke City personally.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
I want to
yeah.
see good football.
Everything to do with Irish soccer kind of undermines that point I just made, actually.
Oh,
yeah, but we're staring down the barrel of an international break.
well, I was gonna say, I don't know. There's a few segues. We'll say, speaking of good football, and speaking of Patrick's Day, and speaking of Crystal Palace,
Oh,
Vieira got the sack,
Mm.
and they also lost to Arsenal today.
Yeah.
So, you know, congratulations, Flynn. But
I am taken away.
yeah, Vieira, give him the league now.
yeah, pretty much.
City
Happy to
can have
support
it.
Arsenal's title charge. You know, take those 3 points and use them well, Finn.
Thank you, Kieran. Your sacrifice won't be in vain.
But what's the story with the sacking? Like, is there a plan? Who's
Oh,
coming
God.
in? Oh my,
What?
yeah, like Allardyce? I don't know.
Oh, no, I thought it was Hodgson, isn't it?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
They're
he seems to be the favorite. Yeah.
they're
Oh.
performing some kind of necromantic ritual right now to get him back. Rise from the grave.
Yeah. Many children were sacrificed for Roy Hodgson's return. Yeah, look, I've had a few days to sit on it, but it hasn't got any better. I think what summed it up for me is the lineup today against Arsenal in 2023. 5 years ago, and we were probably recording. I say we did record at that time too, and I was quite vocally pissed off at that time too. But 5 years ago, I would have been pissed off if James Tompkins, Joel Ward, Miljonovic, and Jeffrey Schlupp were starting for Palace. I'd have been annoyed, and they're still tugging out. Like, that's the problem, is the board have made like another knee-jerk decision to get rid of, honestly, and I say this honestly, one of the most exciting things to happen for Palace over the years, probably since, like, I don't know, Zaha, because it kind of just felt like this injection of positivity that, like, okay, a young manager being given a checkbook for young players. We had Elise, Eze, Wad, all those type of lads being purchased as, like, long-term plans. And then within like a year to close the bank, basically give no spending. We have Klein and Joe Ward as wingbacks. Like, they were marginally good 5-10 years ago. They're not Premier League quality. And to sort of pin that now on Patrick Vieira when he's been given nothing really to maneuver with this year. We've been screaming out for a midfielder, wing backs, and a striker for God knows how long. And how to get rid of him and tell the fan base that the plan is to put the under-23 manager in charge as a caretaker, who's never managed a game at this level ever. And that we're bringing back the manager that we literally spent 5 years saying we were tired of. Like, yeah, the board have betrayed the fans, to put it bluntly. And yeah, I think that it will end in tears. I've always, even our first year up, I always thought that Palace, we might pull it through. Now, we'll probably get relegated. Honestly,
Oh, I don't know about that.
I could see it.
I mean, you're getting dragged into it for sure, but there are like fucking 8 teams still below you. Like,
Fear, though.
you're not worse than Everton.
No, the fear is that we have to play everyone below us now, and they all took points of us. But in the first half of the season, so the first time we played them, apart from Bournemouth, they've all taken points off us. So like to be in that position is tough.
If you could pick a manager now to come in that you'd be happy with, like, is there anyone that comes to mind?
Zidane.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. Pep Guardiola. No, but that's the problem. That's the thing. And apparently the board wanted to sack Vieira last year, but because we got to the FA Cup semi-final, they were like, okay, we'll see in the summer, which is baffling because last year we were the safest we've ever been playing, the best football we've played in the Premier League, and got to an FA Cup semi-final. But, even if they had that in mind, and it was a case of like, all right, we think we're going to be in trouble here. This punt on Vieira hasn't worked out. We need to act now. Do it in January and get Dyche. Get someone who's tried and tested. Like, there's no one out there now, and anyone that's not got a managerial job in March isn't good enough. Frankly, like, what are we going to get? Fucking Rafa Benitez in?
Well, speaking of frankly, I can think of
Oh
one
no!
man.
Oh no!
I'd have to eat so many words. So many. But like, surely not, because surely Vieira was the Gerrard Lampard punt already. Surely.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of anyone else who's available,
No, other than people that have already been sacked. Like, is Nuno Espirito Santo still around? Maybe. I know we were in for him before, but we'll be sure at the back. But like, Hodgson doesn't fix the problem we have. The problem we have is we're not scoring. Like, we're losing games, and we're drawing games. We're not losing games by, like, apart from today, ironically, we're not losing games by like 4 or 5 goals. Like, we're not defensively poor. Our goal difference is decent, but we're not scoring
I know the
goals.
man you need.
Who?
You need Bielsa.
But Bielsa's as a long-term guy. Right? Is he going to come in for 10 games? Like, because that's what it is. It's 10 games. Is he going to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to?
Why not?
Scott Parker.
Get you in, get you playing.
Oh my god. Yeah, well, the other thing too, and I told you this yesterday, Adrian, but it might surprise you, Flynn, is that when what's his name, Jesse March got sacked from Leeds approached Palace to interview Vieira, and Palace said, "Yeah, go on then." Imagine that.
Wow.
Imagine that. Like, yeah. I mean, these are all rumors flying around that these type, when the manager goes or a team is doing badly, they all surface. But Yeah, I think I said this to you yesterday, but just for the podcast, if Roy Hodgson is appointed Palace manager, I'll book tickets and book flights to Selhurst Park for the first game, and I'll jump on the pitch and I'll set myself alight. Set myself on fire in the middle of the pitch.
Hmm.
I can't do it. I can't hack it.
You heard it here first.
Yep.
Kieran is gonna kill himself by fire.
And Palace win the game then.
If that's what it takes, I'll do it.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, same. Yeah. So
Fingers crossed.
hope you're listening, Steve Parrish.
He's like, I can finally get rid of this fucker.
So yeah, Patrick Vieira now as well. He's you know what, his managerial career is probably over now too. You know, he's kind of not made it enough times now.
Yeah, it hadn't been great at anywhere he's been.
Hmm
So he'll either have to take like a much lower profile job, like way lower profile, or he might hang it up. Or he could just be an assistant manager or something.
Yeah, that's it. Arteta's number 2.
Yeah. Mm.
You're not sold on that idea, no?
I'm happy enough with the way things are.
Yeah.
Can't tell why. Yeah.
He could manage Spurs soon.
Well, yeah. Do you hear what Conte said? Like
Yeah.
the rant after the game.
Hilarious.
That's pretty sweet.
Fucking hilarious. Did you see that, Adrian?
Yeah, I did. I mean, he's out the door. It's
Yeah.
amazing how Spurs have that ability to bring in like proven winners and make them absolute losers.
Yeah. Send him away like a quivering wreck. Like
Yeah.
Marino's never been the same.
Nope.
No.
Martin
Mourinho,
Yol
like-
was never the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. But everyone's now saying that Kane is going to go to United, which is something that we spoke about recently enough, but I felt like that wasn't going to happen, and now it's going to happen again. If they lost Kane, they're going to finish like 14th.
Oh yeah, they have nothing going for him. Like they have no
and-
future.
And Kulusevski is only on loan, as we've said many times.
It's a big fact, isn't it?
Yeah, and sure after that, like Son is a nobody.
They spent
That's
fucking 50 million on Romero, who is a donkey.
Yeah, 60 on Richarlison, who hasn't scored.
Oh
a goal.
my god, yeah, he hasn't scored a game. He got injured yesterday as well, I think.
He
Again,
sure did.
Mhm.
Yeah, people laughed at Lucas Leiva as the worst Brazilian ever. Ha. What about now? What about Richarlison? You pricks.
Do you know which Brazilian has the record for most goals in the Premier League
Ooh,
in a single season?
Oh,
in a single season, is it Coutinho?
Firmino.
wow.
Fuck.
Firmino with 15, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty low, right? Yeah, it must be.
Martinelli is 3 goals away from breaking the record.
Wow. Because that was the thing. Remember we did that, was it during the World Cup or just after the World Cup, when we did that thing of like, the nationalities within the Premier League. And like Brazil was very low down. They seem to kind of go to Italy or Spain over England.
Yeah,
Honestly.
well, shocking.
Yeah, didn't work out for him. Martinelli, what a player.
Great player.
Admiring him from afar. Caught in two places when I saw him put that goal past Whitworth today.
Whitworth, yeah.
Yeah, past who?
Our under 19s keeper.
Oh Christ!
Yeah.
Currently starting because two injured keepers, and we sent Jack Butland on loan to Man United because that was a good fucking choice.
I'm sorry.
You're not going to get many positives from me tonight, lads, until we talk about not Palace.
Well, that's okay. We'll talk about Arsenal because they're going to win the league.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop.
I think it's more or less confirmed at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 8 points? 8 points ahead?
8 points, but City have a game in hand, although they will bottle that one, so I'm not too worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Liverpool
season.
will spank them as well for the crack.
Yes, for fucking revenge. Yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah. Let's make it happen.
Yep, it's looking good. 10 games to go now. This is it. This is the running, and they look good. I'm glad they're out of the fucking Europa League. Jeez, went to fucking extra time. Injuries,
Just about.
just the worst way it could have gone, really. But anyway, it's done now. Out of the FA Cup, out of the League Cup. None of that shite matters anymore. Just 10 games to win the league. And they could even lose to City. They can lose to City at City and still win.
And do you remember the last time Arsenal won the league? Like, were you?
No.
Yeah.
I had at that age, I had no interest in football nearly.
Yeah. So this will be it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, yeah.
We're rooting for you.
Thank you. I know.
Yeah.
I know. We have all of Ireland behind us.
Johnny Sexton is going to do like an AIB advert for the Arsenal team.
I actually forgot that there was FA Cup today as well.
I did too.
Did you know? Yeah, I got a message saying, "What the fuck is Mitrovic doing?" And I was like,
I don't know.
Who is this? Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He pushed the ref and got sent off.
Yeah,
Man
I watched
United
it. Yeah.
are such losers. They had to play Fulham, who are nobodies, have them go 2 men down and a manager down, and then win.
Yeah. And United don't get any luck, despite these red cards and the penalty that followed, and the fact that Fernandes did the same thing and didn't get sent off. They don't get any luck, so I'm glad they won today.
Yeah.
Okay. Anthony is Anthony a worse signing than Lukaku?
Yes, so far, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I can back that up, but it's close. Considering Lukaku was 100 million and scored like 2 goals.
Sorry, I thought you meant Lukaku for United. But wow, that's a tough one.
It is.
I nearly
I think-
compare more to Mudryk.
Yeah.
Well, Mudryk is the worst signing of all time. He
It's
has
hard.
to be.
It's hard with Lukaku because, like, when he was good, he was brilliant, like really, really good, and he did have a good spell at Chelsea the first time. It's not worked out since. So Anthony kind of gets that in his favor, I suppose. He's only
Is
been shit
Anthony
once.
young? Like, do they have like 6 or 7 years of him?
Not really. He's like nearly 23, isn't he? He's. I wouldn't say
that's
he's.
young.
I wouldn't call a footballer young at 23.
Mm. Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
23.
you should be close to the finished article at 23. Like you're not gonna improve a whole lot from 23 onwards.
Marcelli's 23, isn't he?
Yeah, but sure, he's got a long road to go.
But he's
Oh, yeah,
banging
no.
in. He's
That's
banging
what I
in
mean,
goals
yeah.
every week, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is that
Martinelli's only
he's
21.
21. Yeah, sorry. There you go.
Fucking hell.
Anthony's a flop, basically. Yeah.
How did he not play in the World Cup? What the fuck were they thinking?
Well, yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, okay.
He's a
Well,
long
that's
road
the-
ahead of him now. He can take Neymar's crown.
Yeah. Well, Neymar's crown is severely dented, I think.
It's not really a crown, more like
Crown of thorns.
Neymar's fucking chastity belt or something.
Yeah. Does he actually poll his sister? Did we ever talk about that?
Pole,
Like-
sister.
In reality, though, like, does he actually?
Asher, what about it?
his sister? What do you mean? What about it?
Let the man alone.
Live and let live. Ride and let ride.
Oh my god.
Aaron Neymar's past it anyway, isn't
Oh god.
he? We're derailing. We're derailing. I can save this. It's okay. I have 3 hot takes
Okay.
I want to get done before the end.
All right.
They're all United related,
Mm-hmm.
and they were sent in by numerous people in various vessels of communication. All right.
Kieran.
First one. yeah. Kieran just texted me 3 questions. So United will finish higher this season than they will next season.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Look at their goal difference. Like, they have +6 goal difference this season. The fact they have the points they have been incredibly lucky. Like, incredibly lucky. Spurs, as bad as Spurs are better than United. Newcastle are better than United. Like, Fulham are better than United. So, and they're only going to get worse. Like, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Liverpool are going to bounce back. So that's another crowded space in top 4. Newcastle are going to be miles better than they are, and they've already been pretty good this year. Yeah, it's and Brighton or Fulham or someone might take that Europa League spot. Yeah, United are flattering to deceive, as we've coined on the PUPcast many a times.
Interesting. I'm not sure I totally agree. I don't think it's like set in stone that they'll be shit next season, because they might be bought by like Qatar or Saudi Arabia or something, and they might just buy Neymar and Kane.
I don't think they'll be shit. I just think it'll be far more competitive next year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
Wasn't that hot. This one is. Ooh, I love this one. Okay. Casemiro was a better signing than Haaland.
Haaland's got 42 goals this weekend. He's up to 42. It's just hard to argue again.
Well, 10 hat-tricks.
I'll give some context here in that I think the argument is, has Casemiro improved United more than Haaland has improved United? When you think that, or improved City, yeah, sorry. When you think that City scored 100 points and won the last 4 of the last 5 leagues, City aren't amazing this season. Neither are United, but they were laughable last season. I know they just shipped 7 goals to Liverpool, but in the greater scheme of things, has Casemiro improved United more than Haaland has improved City?
Fair.
But that's a real head scratcher.
But was he a better signing though? Because it's like, who could City have even signed anyway? Because they were already great. It's like, what was the best signing they could have possibly made? Like, even if they didn't improve him that much. Like, fucking Haaland scoring 200 fucking goals. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And they have him for probably 8 years?
Well, I don't know, actually. I think there was a little bit of talk about him wanting to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona after being at City for a while.
Yeah, because it's kind of a similar question. Well, similar enough in terms of the Haaland conversation of, will he break? Kane's en route, or either has broken the record, the goal scoring record. Like, would Haaland do that at the pace he's going? And obviously, mathematically, yes, he'll do that very soon. But I do think there's a lot of doubt there that he'll actually stay in England. I just don't think he might. I don't think he'll stay at Man City for that long either. Especially if they win the Champions League, I think he'll just go. I think he'll that's his milestone, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So what are you saying? Who's the better signing?
Well, we're debating it out. Depends on how you view it.
Hurry up.
Yeah. I think Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko from City to Arsenal was probably more impactful than either player.
It's hilarious they did that.
Yeah.
That's hot enough to take. To be honest.
Well, I mean,
Zinchenko's played 3 games.
That's not true.
He's played 20 games.
They were the final pieces to Arteta's puzzle, and the second it happened, Arsenal are on course for winning a league, and they didn't win a league without them. I'd like to see you disprove that.
Yeah.
Grant, Casemiro's better value or better signing because Manchester United were an absolute mess. And if you look at it outside of financially and outside of points and outside of goals scored, he's
Right.
made a team more of a unit than Haaland has made City more of a
Okay.
attacking unit. Yeah.
So just forget about any facts and figures at all. Casemiro's better.
Except
Right.
red
much.
cards, maybe.
Yeah. So forget
Oh,
all the
yeah.
bad stuff and just go for Casemiro.
Yeah, because Haaland has like he has a better XG, but he doesn't have as good an X strangle as Casemiro does.
Oh my god, get out. Okay. Right, last one. This one, I really only take these on if I can argue with. And I don't know that I can argue this one that well, but look, we'll give it a go. Eric Ten Hag will leave a greater legacy at Man United than Alex Ferguson.
Did Mike send this? Like, come on.
No, he didn't. This is from Blaheen. Blaheen, if you're listening, thanks for listening.
Thanks for
And
listening.
Does she believe that first and foremost? Before I say thank you for listening, does
Yes.
she actually believe that?
Yep. She said something along the lines of,
She does not.
if he's there, or they said, I should say. No, she said if he's there as long as Sir Alex Ferguson, I think he will,
Okay.
and I think he will be.
He'll be there for
Wow.
25 years.
Yeah, like 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to be around to see if this is actually true or not. Like,
Well,
if it goes on that long.
What I would say, in my desperate attempt at arguing this point, is there's been a big change, and he's only been there 6-9 months, something like that. And like United were laughable last season. Now, again, I know they just lost 7-0 to Liverpool. All right, but like they're kind of dangerous, and Rashford looks good. The signings all look pretty good. You know, put some money behind it in 20 years.
That's fucking money down the drain. Oh my god! Like, I doubt he'll even be here in 3 years' time.
Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's too out there. Like the average manager is like less than a season.
Yeah.
Now.
Even a successful manager barely lasts that long.
Yeah. It would be very, very surprising for the Ten Hag to do 25 seasons plus. Just at that. But also, what we're seeing is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first season or first few games on repeat. This is going in one direction. It's getting people's false hopes up, having a decent finish once, and then going back to the mediocrity that is Manchester United.
Let's just take the absolute nightmare scenario, right? They've won the League Cup. Let's say they win the FA Cup. And let's say next season they win the league. And let's say the next season they win the Champions League. I mean, they're not going to get rid of him anytime soon after that. Now, that is my worst nightmare. It's not going to happen. But, hypothetically, he could be there for 10 years. And if he wins 3 leagues, a Champions League, and like 4 FA Cups in that time, Phoenix from the ashes.
He jumped ship.
Yeah, but you
to
need
fucking,
to do a lot to be better than Fergie.
Yeah. Well, do you really?
The debate rages on.
Yeah, I don't believe anything that I'm saying, so fine. They'll be 5th next year. It doesn't matter.
They'll be lucky to be 5th, yeah. To be lucky to be 7th.
Okay.
They won't get European football.
So no one agrees with that.
No.
Okay.
No. But thank you for the question.
Yeah, we
Hot take.
appreciate the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
But
anyone,
don't submit any more.
yeah, if anyone has any more hot takes, send them to, I don't know, PUPcast@gmail.com and see what happens.
See what
Yeah,
happens.
message undeliverable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you for the hot takes, Adrian. It's funny to think that the hottest take was at the start of the show. And everyone that likes rugby is in Ireland is English.
Yeah.
Functionally, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You know which
Genetically.
listens, like, which is going to be fucking seething at this. Like
It's
one of our
basically,
number
yeah.
one listeners, and you're alienating him. Sean,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
as ginger as they come. You're not English at all, so don't worry.
Well, it's an Irish sport now, anyway.
That's it. You can't argue with the champions.
Yeah, we're in charge now.
England's the colony now. All right, cool. We'll leave it there. So,
All right.
All right. God bless Ireland. God save the Queen.
And God bless the King.
Oh yeah.
God bless Patrick Vieira.
You'll never walk a king.
Up the fucking king.
Oh my God.
You've been listening to the Put 'em Under Pressure podcast. To keep up to date with all of our content, give us a follow on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook. Outro music. Boom.
That was good.
That was good, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my.
We'll prepare and we'll go and we'll do our best. We'll put them under pressure.